Teddy Bear Floating with Balloons. Oh, the Places You'll Go digital drawing by Hot Pink Zebra Polish.
Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you a really cute little teddy bear with balloons digital drawing, and then I also wrote on the drawing, "Oh, the places you'll go," which is just one of my favorite little sayings, and I think it's just so cute. I love the way that this turned out, and I really enjoy doing digital drawings, so I don't have any more at the moment, but if I do some more I will definitely share them with you guys in the future. I hope you guys like this cute little drawing as much as I do, and don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well.
So to begin with, I'm going to take the little pencil and I'm going to start sketching out my background with some black, or not my background, sketching out my teddy bear. So the great thing with using like a digital drawing is, especially if you have something that's pressure sensitive, is it's very, very similar to just drawing on paper. So, you know, different pressures, you get different kinds of lines, and you can really sketch very well. Sketching on I have an iPad that I use, is one of my absolute favorite things to do. So I'm just going to sketch out my little bear. I first start out with just like his basic shape, then go through and add a couple little details, facial features, his ears, a little bit of a patch on his tummy. Then I'm going to go through on a different layer, and I'm going to start filling in his purple. So he's got darker purple for the majority of his fur, and then a little bit of lighter purple that will be on his snout, which I'll add, and inside his ears and on his tummy. Not a huge color difference, just a little bit. And another great thing about drawing on something digitally is, as you can see, I just got rid of my little sketch lines for a second, and you can turn them on and turn them off and change the way the different layers work so that you can see things really easy and you don't have to deal with erasing, or you can change your mind very easily too. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to start filling in my balloons with all varieties of colors. I did not use another purple that is just like my bear. I wanted to kind of stay away from that. I did use purples, obviously, as I'm using one now, but I didn't use the same purple because I didn't want him to match his balloons. And I tried to kind of mix up the colors so that they were different here and there and switch them up some. So there we go. It's really fun to do these digital drawings. I highly recommend it. It's very, very relaxing. So then I'm going to take the Airbrush tool and some black. The Airbrush is one of my absolute favorites in the set because you can do shadowing and shading and all kinds of really nice effects with it. And then a hard eraser, and I'm going to go through and erase any extra lines that I made. And if you do the shadowing with the airbrush on a layer separate from your balloons or whatever it is that you are shadowing, you can then go through and erase where you didn't want there to be that airbrush color. So you can just apply it with some pretty free movements and then go through and just clean up where it wasn't supposed to be. It's really quite easy. It's really, the key to learning how to do these digital drawings is learning how to use the layers properly and getting it so that you can work on a single layer and do different things, and that's kind of a great little trick to know. And then I'm going to take white and the airbrush, and I'm going to add the highlights on my balloons. When you are highlighting balloons, don't be hesitant to really go bright white spot because they're so shiny that you do definitely get that bright white. Then using a straight line, I'm going to make all of my little balloon strings with black, and then I'm going to go through and erase anywhere where there isn't supposed to be a string because I just made them a little longer than necessary. So I erased the extra on the balloons and then the extra on my bear. So now the fun thing is that you can go through and start adding all of your little fur texture to your bear, and there is a great fur texture brush that is on Sketchbook Pro that I'm using. So first with a lighter shade of purple, go through and add the highlights on your bear, and then with a darker shade, not too much darker, you don't want him to look too dramatic, but just a little bit darker, add some shadowing. I did a little bit of like a drop shadow around his eyes, and then I'm going to clean up my edges once again and do the same thing on his face. So white pretty much for those lighter purple areas, and then a brighter purple for all of the lighter purple. And then I'm going to go through with a little calligraphy pen that's very, very pressure sensitive, so you can get nice little flicks of the brush, and I'm going to add the little fur textures all around the perimeter of my bear. So just to make him look like he is furry and kind of muffle that really smooth edge that we have so he doesn't look quite so, quite so smooth. So just add those little lines, and it is almost like an outline, and since he is very cartoon, and you can have an actual little outline basically with that. Then I'm going to add with little black dots or little dashes, I'm going to be adding my stitching on my bear. So stitching on his face, stitching on his arms, around that tummy panel, and then I'm going to add some stitching on his legs. That's kind of the fun thing with this, and part of the reason why I like drawing something that is sewn is because you can add those gorgeous little stitching details, and it adds so much, and it's so easy, and it's just making a little dotted trail. I'm going to add his nose and his eyes. As you see, I went back to my sketch lines and I brought those back so I could see how I had sketched in his eyes, so I got them to look a little bit more proportional, so they had that distance in them. Add some highlights with little calligraphy pen as well as the airbrush, and then on the background I airbrushed in my clouds, and then goofy me, I started adding these little reference lines, and I did not do that on a separate layer, so I was just drawing those right in the background, so I ended up redoing my background in a moment. But then on a separate layer I am going to be writing "Oh, the places you know," like my little sketch. And you can do this, I kind of just winged it for a font and had fun with it, and I didn't want them all to be the same, but then you can go through and you can add your lettering. And for me, hand lettering is something I really enjoy doing. That is one of the few things that I think is very difficult to do on my iPad, and I don't know what it is. I think I overthink it to some extent. As you can see, I redraw things repeatedly, but that's kind of a beautiful thing that you can do here, is you can make mistakes and just go like oops and get rid of them, and you don't have to worry about it at all, and just go through and change things up. So I wrote, "Oh, the places you'll go," and then I decided to add the little quote for Dr. Seuss underneath that, and obviously I should have written out a little line, a little reference line, because I started writing it crooked, but at this point it was like an hour past my bedtime because I stayed up too late to do this, and I was really, really tired. I'm like, you know what, I don't even care anymore. So yeah, that probably isn't beneficial. I get working on one of these projects and I don't want to put it down, and I ended up staying really late. But I hope you guys like this as much as I do, and don't forget to share recreations with me on Facebook or Instagram, or just look at my Facebook and Instagram to see more of my art, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!